Hello, everybody. My name is Barry Johnson. This is Studio Talk. Well, today I'm going to talk about the time Tim Pierce blocked me from his channel. And I think there's a lesson to be learned from all of us, including myself, from that. You know, Tim was doing a video once about Jimmy Page's guitar tone. And I left a comment in there that I guess set off a nerve with Tim. And, you know, before I started doing this YouTube thing, I had a hard time because that was in the very beginning of my channel, right? And I was getting very little feedback at that point. And so I wasn't used to the way some people can be out there on the internet, right? And so, you know, I left a comment, which I still today maybe don't think was harsh, but at the end of the day, I kind of understand where he was coming from. You know, like I said, he was doing a video on Jimmy Page's tone. And I made a comment that, you know, the one thing when you leave comments, understand that your tone and your intent is hard to come across in text. So kind of understand that. I didn't mean it the way it was taken, but now looking back on it, I understand why he took it the way he did. And so, you know, my comment was about, you know, hey, if you're doing Jimmy Page's tone, shouldn't you be doing a Les Paul or a Telecaster? He was playing it through a PRS. And I said, it's hard to get that tone with that particular guitar. Now, nothing against PRS. I think they make some of the finest and well-made guitars that you can buy. But tonality, and I had a 594 that I ultimately sold, which was designed to compete with, you know, a kind of like a 59 Les Paul. And it was a fantastic guitar, but it sounded absolutely nothing like a Les Paul. Now, that's not a good or bad thing. All my guitars here in my studio sound different. It's why I own them, right? But, you know, I got a little scratch my head back here. But anyway, I kind of made that point, and and so maybe he was just in a bad mood that day. You know, maybe I came across as kind of a, you know, a smart ass or something like that. And it didn't take him long to respond, and he responded pretty snarkily. You know, basically saying that, you know, we've got the ability to block you from my channel and consider yourself blocked, you lightweight. Now, the first part I understood, the second part I thought was kind of unnecessary. When he said lightweight, that was because, you know, I had a brand new YouTube channel, probably only had a couple of thousand subscribers, you know, at that point. So it was brand new. But, you know, I would hope he would be encouraging in that. But, you know, I get it. You know, I kind of put what came across as a smart-ass remark on his channel, and at the time, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it at all. So why am I kind of bringing this up now? Well, you know, yesterday I watched a video from Tone Junkie. You know, I'll kind of put it, you know, up there, a screenshot of it, and it really brought back the memories of that. Now that my particular channel has grown, you know, I think I'm around 24,000 subscribers today, and I thank all of you for that. I truly do. You know, the more and more I'm into this, the more and more I get where Tim was coming from. Let me say this right out of the gate. Tim, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. I understand where you're coming from. Maybe that last comment could have been avoided. Maybe you could have risen above it, but I also understand sometimes that's hard to do because some people can just push your buttons. And so, you know, but I've experienced some of that. Thankfully on this channel, overwhelmingly the vast majority of viewers that watch my channel are positive and encouraging. I welcome disagreement with my points. I think it is perfectly fine, and I enjoy hearing other people's opinions. And sometimes there have been times my opinion has been swayed based upon, you know, their very legitimate points. But what is hard to understand is when some people out there turn into keyboard warriors and just think they can say some of the nastiest things, tactful, hurtful things, which brings me back to Tone Junkie's, you know, video yesterday. And I'm going to take a much different approach than he did. We're basically talking similar things, but I'm going to take a different approach. He was basically explaining and justifying where he was coming from and basically explaining why some people got it wrong. And And so ultimately it had to do with sponsorship and things like that. And, I also, like him, I don't take paid sponsorships, but I do review gear, okay? Actually, I'm going to be working on that a little bit later today. I do review gear that manufacturers send me. And I think they were calling him a sellout and a shrill, if I remember correctly, for keeping the head rush unit that was sent to him. And I'm like, you have got to be freaking kidding me. I think people have no idea how much work goes into this channel and his channel. I mean, it's not like we just sit down in 5-10 minutes, if that's how long the video is, and it's over and done with, and that's all we do. I'm sorry, it's not even remotely close to that. Like I hung a new light today, and I needed some diffusion. I spent 3 hours just getting that light set up properly, all right? And that's just one light here in the studio because I'm trying this different angle, and so I want to try to get it just right for all of you people out there. And so a lot of work goes into this between editing, doing color, all the things go into it, thinking about what your subject matter is going to be. There's just a lot more to it than most people think. Here's another misconception that people have. I think he's around 32,000 subscribers. I'm about 10,000 below him, right? So there's not a huge difference between our subscriber base at this point. Let me break something to you. We don't make jack crap from this stuff, okay? Now, the Rick Beatos of the world, they're making some dough. Guys like Tone Junkie and me, okay, we're making just a little bit. I mean a little bit, all right? I would make more from a full-time entry-level job than I do from this channel. So you've got to have a passion for this. There's either two kinds of folks that do the YouTube. They either have a deep I'm talking about people who stick with it. They have a deep passion about what they're doing and love talking about it and communicating about it. I believe he's that way, and I certainly know I'm that way. Or you've got people who are attention seekers. They just want the attention. They want all of that. And those channels don't tend to grow very well because it's hard to relate to somebody like that. Where YouTubers like Tone Junkie and myself, well, specifically him, where he makes money is he sells his profiles for Kemper and presets and things like that for other devices. He sells that on the side, and that's how he makes money. A lot of other people out there sell their guitar instructions, sell courses on the side, which is all perfectly legitimate. They're offering a service, and if people find value in it, they can pay for it and buy those things. I don't do that as of right now. Maybe down the road I might, but as of right now, I don't do that. I do that simply out of passion. So my advice to Tone Junkie in that situation, again, it reminded me of the Tim Pierce situation to where mine was relatively mild to some of the things that you can get on here, but some of the things people can be just downright hateful and mean. And these people are probably sitting in their underwear, trying to be whatever holier than thou that they can be, and will say anything that you simply wouldn't say to somebody in front of you in a civilized conversation. Like I said before, thankfully, I get very, very, very little of that. And there have been times, especially in the beginning, where I would get those things and it would push my buttons. It would get me going. Here's what it does today. In one ear, right out the other. I could care less what you have to say if you're going to be a total ass about it. If you can't get your point communicated in a professional, civilized, adult way, shut up. It's as simple as that. I don't need you watching my channel. I don't want you watching my channel. As I stated before, I don't make any money doing this. Very little, right? And so if I got nothing but those kind of comments, I would shut this down tomorrow, even if I grew to 100,000 subscribers. It would not be worth my time. And so, but I've got to make sure, and what I've had to learn along the way, and what the advice I guess I give to Tone Junkie, and I think he probably already knows this, is you've got to just learn when someone's giving you good advice and when someone's just being a jerk. And those people being a jerk, ignore them. Just flat out ignore them. You have to look at the entirety of your comments, right? For me, my logic behind that is if I'm in a room with 10 people whose opinions I respect, and 7 of them tell me they think I'm right in my opinion, then I know I'm going down the right course. Maybe my opinion's not perfect yet, but overall I've got something going in how I'm evaluating something. If I've got 3 people out of 10 telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about, but the others saying, or 3 people telling me that I'm right and 7 people telling me I'm wrong, then I'm going to be open-minded and realize, I got to tweak this a little bit because the odds are I'm missing something. But if I'm in a room with 10 people who have no knowledge or experience on anything and they want to tell me what to do, I'm not wasting my time having an intellectual conversation with that person. I'll be cordial, I'll be polite, of course, and that's the problem oftentimes with these Facebook groups, where it draws out some of the most horrible people on the planet, which is a problem for social media. So for all of you that watch my particular channel, know that I appreciate it when you give positive comments, and I appreciate it when you want to give me opposing viewpoints. That I respect. I absolutely respect that. For those of you who want to be a jerk and think you've got it all figured out and you're the only one who knows what's going on, move on. I don't want you watching my channel. Just simply move on, because I really don't care. I'm an adult. I live in an adult world. I have adult conversations, and I'm very open-minded and very flexible. But I'm not going to be, I'm not going to deal with that stuff. I'm just not. And that's my advice for Tone Junkie. And I think, Tim, again, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to set you off that day. You didn't deserve that. But we all learn lessons in life. And the key to it, right, is when we make a mistake and we do something we shouldn't, as long as we learn from it, we're growing. We're growing, and that's all we can ask of each other, is that we're growing, whether it's growing in your knowledge of all of this, growing in your ability to play a particular instrument, no matter where you're growing in your personal life, just being a better person, a more knowledgeable person tomorrow than you are today. That's where we can benefit. You don't always have to take everyone's advice, but you should be willing to listen from those who have some experience with it. Doesn't mean you can't disagree with them. Of course you can. I'm certainly not right on everything I talk about. I'm just simply sharing my opinion, and know that I do it for all of you, and I genuinely mean that, all right? So Tone Junkie, you owe nobody an apology. Tim Pierce, I apologize to you, and I appreciate all that you've contributed to our musical community. One of the most, I think, probably the most recorded guitarist in history. If he's not the most, he's certainly up there. And anyone who doesn't have respect for that, I don't know what to tell you. So if you like the things I talk about on this channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, help me grow it so I can get the message out to more people that I try to communicate, help people grow and learn as much as I possibly can here on this particular channel. But make sure you go down there and leave some comments, and let me know what you think. And if you disagree with me on this, by all means, go down there and do it. All right? If you're gonna be a jerk about it, you can just move on, brothers and sisters, because I really don't care. Okay? Till next time, hope every one of you have a great, positive, encouraging, enlightening day. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. My name is Barry Johnson. This is this is a drink of water. Know what I'm saying? Hello, everybody. My name is Barry Johnson. This is Studio Talk. Well, today I'm going to talk about the time Tim. Hey, Tim, don't you like me calling you Tim? Oh, gosh. All right. Come on, Barry. It's early in the morning here. I mean, like really early.